6.5 million. That is the number amount of illegals that have flooded over from the southern border into the United States since Joe DiMaggio was elected as president.
You're kidding.
6.5 million.
It's true.
More so than any other presidential administration in the history of this nation.
What the hell's going on out here?
A flat-out invasion.
America has not been invaded by a foreign enemy in nearly 200 years.
I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this
Kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
is what's next. What's up, everyone? Jazz Berganzo, what's next? Your daily dose, of course, common sense, facts, and salt. This is the weekend edition. Title 42. Title 42 was reintroduced back by Donald Trump in 2020 in regards to infectious diseases regarding those illegally coming into the United States. Well, Trump decided to expand on that regarding just those coming into the United States, give or take. And it's been somewhat effective, preventing at least 40% of illegals coming into this country. And then those who have pretty much has been catch and release and send them back. But that all ended. As of yesterday, Title 42 is no longer on the books. So you've seen videos of illegals just raring to go. And I mean, it looked like the starting line of a race where you had those grabbing their kids, hauling ass to the southern border. Now, from what we've seen since, it looks like adult men. No children. No wives. But of course, you have sex trafficking, which has been notorious from coyotes bringing illegals over into the United States. We have seen others than Hispanics come over from the border. I mean, we're talking as far away as Africa, China, and other nations. Because they're like, hey, if the Spanish can do it, sure, we can too. But then, of course, you have DiMaggio hiding in his basement saying, I see nothing, I hear nothing, I know nothing. As the border crumbles and as this country goes into the shitter. Let's take a look. This coming out of Breitbart. White House, you can't compare the border to Afghanistan. Not chaos at the border, at least not right now. And this ass clown. On Friday night's broadcast of CNN's The Lead, which of course no one watches, White House National Security Council Coordinator for Strategic Communications John Kirby, who has been a total asswipe since day one, criticized comparisons between the situation on the border and the withdrawal from Afghanistan, which of course Afghanistan was wonderfully clustered, and stated that it's not chaos down there at the border, at least right now, not right now. Kirby reacted to a clip of Representative Pete Sessions out of Texas, stating that the situation at the border is as chaotic as the withdrawal from Afghanistan. I think it's just incorrigible to compare what we're trying to do with the safe and effective pathways to come to the border. Yeah, so safe, so effective. So what happened to Afghanistan? It's not all the same situation, and the footage you just showed that demonstrates that it's not chaos down there at the border, at least not right now. We're doing everything we can to strike a balance between providing a safe legal pathways into the country, but enforcement of our border laws here and between having a safe and secure border there, Jake. And if a congressman really cared about much as helping the southern border situation, as he would enjoy his colleagues in Congress to pass legislation to pass immigration reform and dust off and take off a look at the immigration reform that the president has put on Capitol Hill the day he took office, which not as yet been acted upon. This also comes out of Breitbart. Reverend Franklin Graham. Southern border is in chaos. Pray that our country will survive. Lord help us all. The southern border is in chaos. Christian evangelist Franklin Graham said on Thursday ahead of the official expiration of Title 42, which opens the floodgates to illegal border crossers. Everyone agrees our southern border is in total chaos. And it's not just people from Mexico and Central America pouring in across, but from all across the world, Graham said in a social media post. And this administration is doing nothing except encouraging it, he added. pray that our country will survive.
I'm standing here at our southern border. That's the Rio Grande River right behind me. I'm in Brownsville, Texas. Title 42 is going to expire in just a few hours. We're seeing an invasion at our southern border, and there are right now over 22,000 illegal immigrants right across the river. You can see the lights. You can see people camping out. You can see a fire right there. If you look, you can see them. They're waiting. They're waiting for Title 42 to expire. And then the invasion we're going to see is going to be massive. We already have the worst illegal immigration in the history of our country. And in just a few hours, it's getting worse. Joe Biden, this is your fault. The people who are killed crossing illegally, that's your fault. The women who are sexually abused crossing illegally, that's your fault. The children who are brutalized crossing illegally, that's your fault. The people dying of drug overdoses, over 100,000 last year, that is your fault. Come down here, President Biden. Stop hiding in the basement. Stop pretending this misery is not your fault. Stop it. This is not humane. This is not compassionate. This is cruel.
From Graham's lips to God's ears. 6.5 million. This administration doesn't give two fucks. Not about you, not about your family, not about your job, not about anything, not about any American citizen in this country. I've said in previous videos that all he cares about is the pronouns, which is absolutely true. And of course, anybody illegally crossing over into the U.S., he cares about them too, because it's about the Democratic vote. That's all he gives two fucks about. That's all this administration cares about. Nobody in that administration gives two fucks about how it's going to affect every single state. Not Texas, not just New Mexico, not just Arizona, not just Louisiana, not just California. California's dead. California's absolutely dead. I don't give two fucks about them. Good people, but state has gone to shit. And that is what this country is turning into. Billions every single year out of taxpayers' pockets. You, me. Our taxes, part of our taxes, go to this shit. And I'm sorry. I understand that you got those from other countries who want a better life in this country. I understand. But why aren't you going to Great Britain? Why aren't you going into Canada? Why aren't you going into Ireland, Scotland, France, Germany, Japan? Because they don't. Because they don't. We've already seen what happens when illegals hit a country. France, anyone? Their countries turn to shit. And then you have China and Russia. They stand by and go, gee, look what's going on. Funny how China and Russia don't have this problem of those invading their country. They don't. Because they made it very clear. The second you step foot into our country that you do not belong in, we're going to deal with you with extreme prejudice. Now, those tactics could be anything. I'm not saying that we need to do that here in the United States, that we need to deal with situations at the end of a barrel of a gun. What I am saying is that this goes beyond Biden. This goes beyond Trump. This goes beyond any president over the last 3 to 4 decades. This has been going on way too long. And every time one president gets elected and steps up and say, I'm going to do something about the border, chirp, chirp, chirp. You know, for the Democrats, it's all about the vote. For the Republicans, it's like, well, we don't want to offend anybody. We don't want to step on anybody's toes as they clutch their pearls and their rectums clench. That we don't want to see. No. Trump was the only one that had balls enough to strike when the iron was hot regarding the southern border because of rapists and murderers as he went down the escalator in 2015. And he was absolutely right. He wasn't lying. There are rapists and murderers who come over the border. That's a fact. There are sex traffickers that come over the border. That's a fact. There are cartel members that come over the border. That's a fact. But this administration has gone out of its fucking way to open the damn gates and say, world, come the on in. We won't survive as a country. Franklin Graham is 100% correct. We will not survive as a country. States cannot continue to take on this kind of pressure. They just can't. And who suffers at the end? You and me. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, hit the notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Stands in their way.
It's time to die.